It's a transfer show. It's the Football Martin channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is going to be a regular show, which is going to go out each week. We'll probably get a couple in a week, to be fair. We'll do some of them live as well as the window nears the end, but it will all be dependent on how busy the window is. But I'm going to look to put a video out each Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we'll kind of cover all the latest links, rumours. Look, I get to know the odd bits and bobs here and there, but I'm not a reporter. I'm not somebody that's in the know. I get fed the odd bit of information here and there from people, but it's just literally going to be talking and giving opinions on what we've heard, and that's what I'm going to do today in the first transfer show, the first one here on the transfer show on the Football Martin channel, and we're going to take a look at some of the news that is circulating today, and we'll kick off with the main story is that Ivan Durick, the Southampton manager, he said in his post-match press conference after the Crystal Palace game that Southampton would need to loan more players out at the start of this transfer window. He said that he did need to shrink the squad. He needed to eliminate some players. And there's no doubt the squad is bloated. There's too many players in this squad. And the first one to go out the door is Ronnie Edwards. He's gone out on loan. He was signed in the summer from Peterborough United. Strange signing at the time, saying that we were back in the Premier League and we were looking for Premier League players, you would have thought, and we were pretty well blessed with centre-backs. Well, he's one for the future, no doubt about that. Brilliant that he sent him out on loan. He's gone to QPR on loan to the end of the season under a great manager in Martin Cifuentes as well. I think he'd do well there. I think it's a great club to go out and nurture. He'd be nurtured well there with a manager that looks to play a decent, aggressive style of football as well. Good result for them today. So I think it's a really good move for Ronnie Edwards. He'd be up to speed and ready for the Championship next season because inevitably that's where Saints are going to end up. Right, the other story circulating today is off Sky Sports News. They've said that Southampton primary objective this January window, is to sign a new striker to score the goals that may put us back into contention to stay up. Well, who is going to be that man? It will be very, very interesting to see, can they attract a striker that's going to come and score 10 plus goals in the second half of this season. It remains to be seen who that will be, but then we will be linked with a huge amount of players, no doubt, within the next couple of weeks, no doubt about it. One of those that we brought in, that was brought in actually at Sheffield United in the January window last season, because Ben Brereton Diaz, he was signed in January by Sheffield United and did score a fair few goals between January and the end of the season for them, when he's been linked with a return back to Sheffield United. The Blades are potentially interested, they're saying, and taking him on loan. I think Saints will be looking to sell him. I would imagine I would be looking to sell him if I was involved at Southampton Football Club. I think many of you would agree with me. He's not shown enough, has he? Joe Tessam said on Going Home with Adam and Joe after the game against Crystal Palace, he felt that he didn't have a touch. He said he doesn't feel he's got any pace and he doesn't beat his man. And I agree with him. So what does he bring to this side? I find it a very, very strange signing. £7 million we spent on him from Villarreal. It just seems a really, really bizarre signing. I think they struggled to recoup that on him. I don't think we'll get that back on him. So you expect that to be a loan move. Right, in other news, what have we seen today? And again, it's rumours, and this is coming out of Brighton and Hove Albion. Brighton are not looking to loan out Evan Ferguson, apparently, because there's a lot of talk that he's looking for football. He'd be looking to get some game time, not getting loads at this moment in time. And it was Southampton were reportedly, well, I think a lot of the fans were probably keen on seeing us going in and get him. Whether the club have got any interest in him, I don't know. But apparently Brighton are not looking to loan him, which is interesting. I think he's a very good player. He would be a man I'd be looking to bring in if he was available. It doesn't look like he's going to be available according to reports today. Evan Ferguson looks to be staying at Brighton this January. Right, a lot of talk around this man, and it's probably the main story of today's transfer show actually is around Shay Charles. We all know what a good player he is and the potential that he had last season. Wasn't massively trusted by the manager at the time, Russell Martin, when there was opportunities for him to play a bit more game time last season. I'm not sure we saw the best of Shay Charles at Southampton last year, But he has done very well. He went out on loan to Sheffield Wednesday at the start of the season, and he has flourished at Wednesday under their manager, Danny Roll, a man that was linked with the managerial job at Southampton. He's doing a good job, Danny Roll, but he speaks very, very highly of Shay Charles, and all the fans do around Sheffield Wednesday as well. Any Wednesday fan you talk to absolutely rave about Shay Charles and the performances he is putting in this season. Well, it has been reported today that there is a clause where Southampton can recall him in January. So if they wanted to recall him, they could bring him back in. Would you bring him back in, Saints fans? Get involved in the comments box below. I believe it could happen because I think this manager, Ivan Durick, needs midfielders that are able to press. Charles is young. He has got good adaptability, I think. And if he was going to come in and make the squad better, which he would, I think it will be an option. But his development's been phenomenal at Wednesday. So I know the Wednesday fans don't want to see him go. I think I saw someone the other day, there was a GoFundMe page to try and sign him. I don't think they're signing him. I don't think they have the money to sign him. I think he's going to be worth a lot of money. But it's also been reported today, actually, that there is Premier League clubs interested in him. One of those being West Ham United. There was talk about Arsenal have been watching him as well. Then I saw today Leicester and Atlanta are quite keen on him. That was a story. I think it was in the Daily Mail. I read that one this morning. Are interested in Shay Charles. And I'm not surprised. He's a really good player. I think it'd be a big bonus for Saints if you could bring him in and bring him in. But is it going to... He's playing in the side that's doing well, not getting beaten every week. They're winning games. They're really competitive. Would it really beat the confidence coming out of him coming back into a side that's losing every week? They're struggling in a league that's probably a bit too far for a lot of our players. Is he ready for the Premier League as well? It's another matter, isn't it? Probably not. I don't know. I think we'll probably look to bring in 2 midfielders at least for Ivan Durick. I think he's going to need 2 midfielders. There's no doubt about that. There's a bit of talk also around one midfielder that we have in on loan, Leslie Ugochukwu. Could he potentially go back to Chelsea? There was talk weeks ago that he was going back. David Ornstein said that on NBC in America that Leslie Ugochukwu was going back. That was before he's been brought back into the fray by the new manager, Ivan Durick. He's frozen out by Russell Martin, now back involved. Will he remain at Southampton beyond this January? I think he probably will. I don't think he'd go back. I think if he's going to be guaranteed game time, I think we will see him remain a Southampton player. But that remains to be seen. That one will develop, you would think, over the coming days. We don't know what the clauses were in that original contract that they signed when they brought him in on loan, Southampton. So that kind of wraps up everything that I've read and everything that's been spoke about at this moment in time. A striker is a massive focus by the sounds of things. Paul Onuachu, they've tried to sell him in every transfer window that he's since he was signed, actually. I don't think they'll be selling him this January transfer window. I think Paul Onuachu will stay. The whole side is being built around him at this moment in time, so I don't see Onuachu going anywhere. Ajax is supposedly still tracking Kamaldeen Tielemans. Whether they still have a genuine interest in him, I'm not sure. I think we need to move him on. He's not shown anywhere near enough, has he, for the Saints? So, yeah, an interesting month of January for Southampton. I will keep these videos coming. I will keep you updated with my thoughts on things. Really good move for Ronnie Edwards. Unsure what to do with Shay Charles. Definitely think we need a striker, no doubt about that. We need 2 midfielders. Not sure that Ugochukwu will go. Hope he stays. Think we need to keep him. And yeah, that wraps up my thoughts on it, really. I think defensively, we won't sign anybody. Carl Walker-Peters was the other name I've not mentioned. Talk of Leicester wanting him today. I don't see him going to Leicester. And without any chance, just don't see him going to we wouldn't imagine we sanction a deal to let him go to a relegation rival anyway. Right, that is the end of today's show. Make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Tomorrow, have a very special video out with Glenda, the core of League One -10. We talk about the season so far. We look ahead to 2025. What is in store for Southampton Football Club and what would we like to see happen in the coming year? Stay tuned for that tomorrow. That will be out tomorrow evening here on the channel. Content coming thick and fast already. Take care. Goodbye, and I'll see you again soon.